Hello and welcome to my very last reflection of this course. Today I'll be reflecting upon the ethics of ectogenesis, and we'll be reflecting on the arguments of Singer, Wells, and Sander Stout. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to say Stout. Firstly, I will reflect over the arguments of Singer and Wells, and then Stout, and then we'll argue whether or not, once technologically possible, if ectogenesis would solve the issue of abortion. Okay, so firstly, the arguments of Singer and Wells. So they argue that artificial wombs are inevitable because hospitals are in constant demand of having to nurture premature babies, and by studying premature babies and the process of conception and gestation, the age for being able to remove and to nurture premature babies is going back and back and back. And Singer and Wells believe that eventually we will be able to artificially gestate infants all the way from conception, which is ectogenesis. They consider this a potential liberator of women because it would allow for all the joys of parenting for the women, but also to take away the burdens of pregnancy. And they argue there is potential for combining this with cloning technology to grow humans, to grow human clones for organ harvesting, but highly suggest to steer clear of this so as not to undermine human life in general. They also argue that this technology could be used to solve the argument of abortion because it would respect the wishes of the mother and have the fetus removed, but the fetus would also still be allowed to live, which is a main part of the argument of the the good and bad of abortion. So, one argument of Stout, whatever his name is his liberal view, which is similar to Singer and Wells' argument about the potential to liberate women, but it also states that with pressure, this could become the ectogenesis could become the default rather than natural pregnancy, therefore limiting women's freedom. So if this technology came to be, the people might find natural pregnancy primitive and disgusting, in turn being pressured into ectogenesis, so therefore kind of backfiring and limiting some of the women's freedoms. And as my own opinion and argument, I believe that ectogenesis would be a good thing in some ways, but also a bad thing. So because the main thing keeping lots of people from aborting their UDHs today is the fact that they know they would be killing this poor innocent thing. But if this technology came around, then that would no longer be true. And instead of killing them, this gives them a reason to get rid of the child, and it would still live. So I believe that this would in turn cause many, 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 many more people to get rid of their children, get rid of their UDHs rather than keeping them and giving birth to them and raising them as their own. So I believe if this technology were to come around, in it should only be used in the special cases that abortion is used in today, like like if the mother has been raped or if the mother is at risk of death because of the UDH. So only then I think this technology should be used is under those circumstances, so as not to cause many more people to get rid of their children using this technology to their advantage. So that's my last argument. I'm sorry for all the stuttering today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but enjoy the last few weeks of school, and yeah.